to install these BC Racing coilovers. We're going to start with the rear first, and then we'll show how it's done in the front as well. So I already got the wheel off, obviously, and when I put the subframe, the Mustang subframe in the Fusion here, we only got the springs in by lowering the subframe a bit. It was just easier at the time. What I'm going to attempt to do is disconnect this upper link and see if I can't lever that big control arm to sneak the spring out, and the coilover spring is actually at full low right now, and see if I can sneak that in there after I attempt to get that out. Well, that attempt did not work. There's just not enough droop in the suspension to sneak that out. I'm gonna have to drop the subframe a wee bit and get those suckers out of there. Sweet, should have done that in the first place. Spring is out, and along with the other side, only had to fully take out the rear subframe bolts, kept the front ones in there, a few threads. Came down plenty of room to just yank them out. So I let the car down. I haven't installed the dampers yet. I just wanted to see where we're at as far as spring height. That is full low with S550 suspension in this Fusion. We are pretty much as light as it gets in the rear right now, so it'll probably get lower with all the stuff that we're going to put in back here, but I'm really liking the look of it. So before I can install the dampers, I'm gonna install the shock mounts onto the shocks. Dampers are in. I put the adjustment knob in there and adjusted about in the middle between full soft and hard. Won't know until we get this thing on the track when it'll be dialed in, but it's super easy to do. And we're going to just lower it and then onto the fronts. Alright, so I got the stock S197 strut out, and the BC coil next to it. There's a bit of a height difference there, so I'm going to get the spanner wrenches, adjust that to probably 1 inch lower than stock, and we don't have a motor in here yet. That's coming soon, and we'll see where it's at. Alright, got the coilovers adjusted to a few inches shorter than the factory one, and that's actually a Ford Racing lowering spring, so we'll get an idea without an engine in here anyway of what it could look like, and we'll have to make fine-tune adjustments. Plus we have to make a custom arm to set the wheel back a couple inches, because where I put the K-member and where it all ended up making the wheelbase 115 inches, and this Fusion is already 112 from the factory, so we'll get it dialed in and show you what's up. So since this is a very custom install, you can see how close the adjuster got to the strut tower, and I'm probably going to have these slotted so we can do some cast adjustments. There's a lot of room in the strut tower, so I can get some of the caster we're going to lose from moving the wheel back, and I'll probably open this up so that we can get into the camber adjustments on the top hat as well. And not only is it a pretty unconventional install, you'll notice the tower is also drilled for S197 top hat, so I could utilize Mustang coilovers. So a lot has happened since we first started putting in the coils. Rears were on point. Those are actually full low. And since we're running a subframe, spacers to adapt the Mustang one to the Fusion, that's as low as it'll get. But this car is more about the function side of things, so I think it looks good. Once we get some side skirts, it'll look lower. And we got to the front, and now we can actually see where the ride height's setting, since we got the custom control arms. So I was pretty lucky. I basically just made the ride height, made the coils a little shorter than the factory ones that I started with, and that was it. But the car's in the very early stages, so right now ride height is where it needs to be. I'm gonna set up preload and stuff later, because the car's gonna go off, get the cage done, and I'm gonna get the wheel a little more forward with some spacers and some other settings dialed in as well. So it's coming along nice.